the Clarence Hotel, Greenfield. And I'm just about to take a walk down here to Dovestones Reservoir. Nice little property there on the left. A bit of a fixer-upper, I think. Make somebody a nice little cottage, that. Not very big, but functional, I would say, functional. This is the road that used to go down to the paperworks, and many moons ago my dad used to work at this paperworks, but it's been long gone. I remember as a kid going on the Boy Scouts, and we used to go camping down here at Chew Valley, and they used to have these little buckets that used to go around on a conveyor, and they were full of, I don't know, some kind of pulp or something, and we used to be fascinated watching them going up the hillside. It's quite a nice walk, this, as well. That path on the other side of the water there is where we used to walk as cubs, and they used to be singing all the old songs, you know, 10 green bottles and Ging Gang Gooly Gooly and all those sort of things on our way up to camping. Quite an education for a young kid. I don't remember that being there before. That's a new addition to Greenfield. A windmill. It doesn't look like it's completed, but it doesn't look brand new, so I may explore that a little bit later on my way back, probably. We plod on. There's obviously been some strong winds around here. Look at the size of that tree that's been blown over. That brickwork's very interesting as well. I don't know why it's there, but it's obviously something was built on that spot. We'll motor on anyway. Nice country lane. I think this was part of the paperworks here, these remaining buildings and such. Not 100% sure, but I think they've got to be related to that. I can just see Indian's head popping through at the rear as well. I'm going to get a closer view of that later. That's Indian's head, what you can see there. I'll get a better picture at a later date. Coming up here is a very interesting area, because this road actually was where they did the car chase on Coronation Street, and somebody was murdered around here. I can't remember the character. I think it had something to do with Owen, but I'll have to check on that. But that was all filmed around here, along this road and around these buildings here, so they must have blocked it all off to do the filming. Ah, there it says mill entrance there. So this must have been the official entrance to the paper mill. Well, all the buildings are still intact anyway, so obviously some have gone. I can see there's a few ruins over there, but the main buildings are intact still. So back to Coronation Street. Somebody was murdered around here. There's a nice pit, look. We move onwards. This looks an interesting bridge. Some fancy ironwork on it and everything, isn't there? Very nice. Must have been another way in or out of the mill. The river's flowing well today. I don't think they want anybody to go in there now, judging by all the barbed wire they've got around it. Well, I wasn't going to attempt that one anyway. back to the road. Just coming up to the bridge now. There's one that leads to the private houses. This one always wants me to go. But I'm not going to do it today. Some interesting old derelict buildings here as well. I think that one needs a bit of a roof job on it. It's seen better days for sure. Just coming up to the reservoir now. That big hill in the background is man-made, and that's what's the retaining wall of Dovestones Reservoir. So we'll go and take a look, shall we? It's a nice day. Well, I say it's a nice day. I mean, it's not raining, so that's got to be a nice day. You can see the water there is creating some spray. Flowing very fast actually. It's like it's got a lot of iron in it as well. All the brown water coming out there. We carry on up to the road and up to the reservoir. It still says Robert Fletcher on the notice there, private road. And Robert Fletcher was the name of the paper mill. So it looks like there's a lot of security around here. I don't know what they do now. I've no idea. But it looks very secure and there are lots of cameras and everything around. There's a nice building. We'll carry on. There's the main road now, up to the reservoir where that car's just gone. And so you can see people walking across the top there. We're almost there now. Coming up to the reservoir. Nobody sailing today. Quite a big reservoir, as you can see. That's the sailing club. Goes all around. And there's another one at the other end as well. Higher up's another reservoir that feeds this. Beautiful place in summer, this. Beautiful. I'm going to just take a little walk down to the old campsite as it used to be. Just take a look at the profile here. It's a great shot of Indian's Head. Notice the big nose. Oops, hang on, I think I got that wrong. I should be over this side over here. That's the profile. There's Indian's Head. And if you notice, you get the big nose, so you sort of turn it that way. That's the way the face is. You've got the big nose on there, and there's a big headdress going all the way along there. And as a kid, I climbed all the way up there, right to the top of it, all up that hillside there. As I said, we used to camp down at the bottom, so it was something that we did, not on a too regular basis, but we did do it. That is Indian's Head at its best. One or two boats in the compound there for the sailing club. I'll have to go through this style here now. I like your style. Oh. It must be childproof. But I managed to break it. This is where your posh folks keep the boats. And on this side was our trekking route. We used to come trekking all over here, hiding in little caves and under things and making our way up to the Indian's Head there. Many moons ago. Things move on. the reservoir wasn't even there then. There was no reservoir in those days, so I go back that far. This was the area we used to come camping. We used to camp under those trees there, and just where that little mound is used to be a hut. We came up here one year and the hut was there. We were camped out under all these trees and on this little flat bit here, and there was a deluge of rain. It absolutely poured down, so all the tents got drenched. We had to pack everything up and get into the hut to get dry, and it was just a complete mess. We had to go home in the middle of the night, and that was unheard of, but it was that bad. And at that time there were no buses or anything here, so it was a long walk down to the village, and then I don't know how we did it. Must have been somebody with a car, which wasn't, again, well, not many people had a car in those days. But this is a stream where I used to come down here and wash my tin mug and my tin plate out with a handful of gravel. It's beautiful around here still though, really is nice. And with Indian's Head in the background there, it is really nice here. It's just starting to rain now, that's the downside. So it's decision time for me now. What I've got to do, I think I'm going to have to go back. As beautiful as it is here, I'm going to have to go back for two reasons. It's now coming up to 3 o'clock and it's starting to rain and it's going to be dark very soon. So I'll just leave my memories behind me here and remember the good times. I must have been about 10, 11 years old, and all those happy times I spent here. Still, I'm clocking on a little bit now and I'm still spending happy times, so life goes on and everybody should make the most of it while they can. Who knows what's round the corner, especially in these COVID days. I'm going back a different route now. It's still raining. You know what, it's that fine rain. You know that fine rain that wets you right through? Well, that's what I've got now. It's not heavy rain, it's fine rain. So we're taking this different route back, which again I used to traverse with the cubs. I know this road. It leads us down to a path that takes us way down past the paper mill, and depending on how soggy the ground is, as usual I'm not in my right attire for walking really, but I prefer comfort. It's a little bit misty now, but you can just see in the distance the remains of the paper mill, or whatever it's used for now, James Fletcher and Co. I should look it up really. However, it's a nice quiet peaceful road this, with double yellow lines down either side. But I'm not driving, so it doesn't matter. This is an interesting row of houses. Notice how small the doors are. I'm afraid the camera's getting wet, so I apologise for the spots on there, but it's too good to miss, and it's raining too heavy to continue with my filming. So it's over and out for a moment. Cut, as they say. The cat looks contented at least. Sorry Puss for disturbing you. Nearly at the end now and it's raining again. See, spots on the camera. There's an interesting little bit, look. See all the stone steps as well going in there, going up to nothing actually. And there's another set at the back as well. This is the end of the terraced houses here. So the next step is to go down this path, which will take me back to Greenfield. Because this has made a nice big play area out of it and everything. Very nice. In fact, I think it might be a play group or something. Sorry about this, it's raining again. Now this is a great view of the paperworks now. And that's the row of terraced houses we just left behind. This fine rain's not doing very well actually. It's It's a little bit debilitating with the camera. I have to keep stopping and wiping it. Okay, that's another cut. Looks like the sheep are all happy chappies. They don't care about a little bit of rain, do they? They're not soft like us humans. They're hardy. I'm coming to the end of the path now, and this is where I get worried about the mud. I'm already squelching in about 3 inches of leaves underfoot. I just have to see what occurs when we get there. Blooming heck, this is taking a shot for the worst. This was a football field behind this wall here. Talk about derelict stadiums. Wow. It's a few years since I've been here, but the last time I was here there were goals up at this end, and there's a bit of a path there now, as you can see. So wow, that's not going to be used again for a long time. Rain again, cut. And that's what I mean about the mud. See it? I've got to get through all that now and get down to that end. I'll see you there. I managed it without too much of a mishap, because there was a few stepping stones on the way. But as you can see, it's not easy to negotiate this. Why is it always raining? Look at it. I think I've got a decision to make here. Go left or right? I think it's going to be right. I could go along there, but I'm anticipating that it's going to be very muddy. So I'm going to go this way, which is going to be a little bit muddy, but that bridge in the distance will take me back over to the road where I came in. So I know that's... oh, squelchy, squelchy. What a mess. Me and my shoes was always a problem. Well, I got to the bridge okay, and not too much damage. It'll wash off. It'll wash off. I'm as bad as Nigel here, aren't I, with my white shoes? This surface is very slippy as well. But I have reached the road, and that's an accomplishment in itself. So now all I've got to do is turn left, because this is the road I initially came up. So I'm going to turn left here, and I'm back on the way back to Greenfield. So I hope you enjoyed the little jaunt. If you did, subscribe, and if you hit the little bell, you'll get a little message sent to you when I put another video up. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm going to cut it off here now, and I'm going to try and get back and get dried. Bye for now.